Welcome to the second episode of How to Play Sorare with 25 euros, and in today's one it will be specifically about under 23, where I will go through different players I really like on a low budget and also go through two different teams that I want you to purchase if you are on a 25 euro budget, and also if you have used an affiliate link when signing up, you can use mine in the description where you'll get 50 euros after buying 5 cards. That is much appreciated, and that is how you should sign up, because then you will also be able to afford the second theme that I will be showing in today's video, which will be a 50 euro budget. But let's start off with a 25 euro one for you guys that haven't signed up with an affiliate link, because I think this one is also a really interesting one. So as you can see on the screen right here, we have 5 different players: Jasper Schandelar, Felix Bacher, Eduard Michut, Jan Gebuhu, and also Stelios Andreu. Every single one of these guys are from different leagues. And let's start off with the first one, Jasper Schandelar. And as you can see on the screen right here, he is playing at Eredivisie, the Netherlands First Division, and also playing for the team Zwolle. He has been hyped up a lot last season, and he is very highly rated, under 23 until 2025, July the 1st, and also he has a contract until 2026. Hopefully he stays at Zwolle. And yeah, they aren't the best team, but he does very well, because look at these scores, and a lot of these very good scores isn't for clean sheets. I don't think they have kept more than 5 clean sheets for the entirety of the season, and that shows a lot on how good scores he get, although the team is really bad. And that is something you could appreciate with a player like Schandelar. And as I said, he's coming in at around 15 euros, so he's a very cheap goalkeeper, especially because he's an under 23 goalkeeper, and he is also very highly rated. So let's say if he gets a move away from Eredivisie, he may be the new starter and the new star in the world of football. So that is also something I love about under 23, because it's a global competition. You can have whatever leagues you want in this specific region or competition, whatever you want to call it, and therefore scouting players like Jasper Schandelar could be really exciting for the long-term future of having him in your gallery. And yeah, so as you probably see, he will take up a lot of the budget, but we have found some really interesting gems besides him as well. Starting off with Felix Bacher, which have recently moved away from the Primera Liga, which is now Estoril. He has moved to Primera Liga. I mean, he has moved away from the Austrian league to Primera Liga, which is the Portuguese league, where he will play for Estoril, which is a bottom table team. But I think personally he will do a lot better in this team compared to what he did in the last team he were played in. And as you can see on the screen right here, he did very well when he played at Wattens, which is his old team. And me personally thought these type of scores showed a lot of character in him as a player, and also his capabilities of getting those AA performances when Wattens had bad performances week in and week out in periods, but he always stepped on the pitch and delivered good performances, which is something you want to see for your defender. And specifically Estoril, we can see on his price graph that he has spiked a little bit because people think that he will do really well, and that is something you will appreciate as a new holder of Felix Bacher. He has also an under 23 eligibility until 2025, so this one is also a very interesting one, the Portuguese league. This one is definitely one to look out for. And the next one will be Eduard Michut, a player I really like. And just looking at him, he has under 23 utility until 2027. So this one you can hold for a long time if you want to play him in the under 23 division. And he has also a contract until 2026. And a lot of people have rumored him away to other clubs, but me personally think that he will stay for at least another season at Demirspor, the Turkish league club. And they aren't the best, let's be honest, but he is a big exception because he can get you those peak scores. He's pretty cheap, and putting up these type of scores when you are only 21, is very impressive in my opinion. And also in terms of his price, a little over €1 you can get for him, or up to €2. Which is very cheap for a player with Eduard Michut's caliber. And he has also gotten a lot of praise from the Turkish press and also from Turkish league experts and etc. So this one is a very exciting one. And in the forward position, we have gone all out, and most of the budget for the outfield players will go into that forward position. He will be the regular captain for this team specifically, and that is going to be Jan Gebuhu playing for Toulouse. And this story is very interesting because I watched him a little bit when he played at Cercle Brugge, because I scouted Ueda, which is a Cercle Brugge forward. And if we look at his scores, it was very, very underwhelming. But immediately after he joined Toulouse, just look at these scores. He just smashed it from the ground running, and he joined at the winter transfer window, and from there he have just smashed it. And for the next season it will be so incredibly exciting to watch Gebeho play, because he's under 23 eligibility to 2025 1st of July, and he also have a contract until 2026. So if he stays, which he will most likely do, I have so high hopes for him, and especially with the opening fixtures, which looks really, really good. And this one is definitely one to have on your watch list, and he will be the captain for most game weeks in this team specifically. And we have 26 euros altogether in the budget, so it's a little bit over 25 euros at the moment, and therefore we have gone for a really, really good budget option in Sterilius Andreu, which I think you can get for a little bit lower than the current price is saying. And just look at these scores first of all, and he's worth around €1. It's just out of this world in my opinion. And he also have a contract until 2026, and he's only 22 years old, having a contract until 2027, or I mean under 23 eligibility until 2027, 1st of July, which I think is so good for a player like Stelius Andrui, I'm sorry. And as we can see on the price, he has spiked a little bit at the start of the new season, and he will kick off in not too long. I think I think actually he will start the season in the upcoming game week or something, which is very, very exciting. So before you want to purchase him, you can also look ahead now against Antwerp and see how he plays. But I think if he stays, he will be just a hidden gem to have in your gallery, and specifically for this team, it will be the last player. And overall, around 25 euros, and I think this team looks so, so solid. And let's say you have used an affiliate link, or if you want to spend a little bit more on your team, you can step it up and go for the 50 euro team. And keep in mind, when you get the 50% after buying 5 cards from the instant buy market or auction house, you will be eligible to get 50% up to 100 euros. So just keep that in mind. So that is how you spend the credits you will be able to get after using the affiliate link. And that will come a long way to build a team like this, which will be the 50 euro team in this video specifically. And I think it looks incredible, to be 100% honest. And let's start in the goalkeeper position, where we have Nkambodio, then we have Bradley Loco, Matthäus Tavernier, Ryan Philippe, and also Meek Erdushen. And let's start with the goalkeeper position. Nkambodio, I think he looks insane when it comes to last season performance, and also that he has been called up to the under-23 Olympic squad, which also gives me a lot of confidence in him for the long-term future. And also I watched him versus Rodez, and he was out of this world. Very unfortunate that Paris lost on penalties. But it isn't that unfortunate, because that means he will stay another season at Paris. He is under 23 eligibility until 2027, and the last scores for the entire last season were just out of this world. He was so good in my opinion, and if he stays for another year, he will be one of the best under 23 goalkeepers in this platform, or on this platform I mean. And also just incredible player, and he has been rumored to leave to different clubs, but for now I think he will actually stay. But this one is definitely one to monitor, and I think it will be very, very hard for him to get a move after the Olympics, because I think France will do very well. So I think he will get straight back to French League 2 action, which we personally love to see. And let's move on to the next one. That will be Bradley Loco in defense. I watched also him for almost the entirety of the season. And specifically for the start of the season, he was so good. And I loved watching him play, because he is so good defensively and so good offensively. He has also been called up to the French Euro team, or the French Olympic team, I'm sorry. And for the entirety of last season, he was just smashing it for Brest, getting those insane scores, being so offensive, creating so many chances, taking on so many wingers and also defenders. And he was just a joy to watch for the entirety of the season. And he's coming in at around €7, so he's very, very exciting player to watch out for the future. And also under 23 eligibility until 2026 and also contract until 2027. He will have French League 1 football and also he will play in the Champions League, so he'll have double up utility there as well to top it off with, which is just incredible. And then Mateusz Tafarner is a player that I think is really, really interesting for the upcoming season. Because look at these scores. One of the best scorers on their platform, arguably. The only downside is his short contract. Yeah, he's under 23 eligibility until 2025, and he's also 1 year left on his contract at Wattens. A lot of people think he will stay, and a lot of people think he will leave. Me personally pray and hope that he will stay at Wattens, because if he does that, it will just be an incredible player to have in your gallery, because look at these scores. He's an AA monster and he's so creative on the pitch. So I just pray that he will stay, because you can get him currently now for €5, which is a bargain if he stays. And the striker for this team will be Ryan Philippe, which is also another player that has a short-term contract, but he has smashed it when he joined the club Eintracht Braunschweig. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but I just think in general also he's just a hidden gem. Like, look at these scores. He's an AA monster at times and also a decisive demon, which you love to see, and also a very, very solid scorer. And the German Bundesliga tour isn't too far around the corner, so therefore you can also see some performances before you set the full team together. And Ryan Philippe definitely won. The only downside is his short contract and that he is under 23 eligibility until 2025. And now we had spent a lot of budget, so therefore the last player will be a budget enabler, so this team will be worth less than €50, and that will be Mike Erdushen. I think the name, I can guarantee that the name isn't pronounced that way, but we will say it either way. And the reason for me going for him is, first of all, look at the scores he had at the end of last season. And this is a €2 player, and he has under 23 eligibility until 2025, which we of course love to see. He's 24 years old, but still have another year with under 23 eligibility, which is very nice. And a lot of people think that he will stay for another season. I think he has a contract until 2026, and a lot of people have been very impressed by his last season performance, getting decisives here and there, getting a goal contribution there, and etc. Getting very, very good AA performances, although Sparta Rotterdam aren't the best team either. So if Sparta Rotterdam can be better next season, and also Erdushen staying and helping the team out, I think this one will be an incredible player to have for the entirety of next season, coming in at around €2. And when we end it off with, this will be the team. Ryan Philippe will be captain here for most game weeks because he's such an incredible scorer. You can also argue that Tafarner or Bradley Loco deserves the captain armband here and there. But this will be the €50 team. Remember to leave in the comments which team did you like the most. And yeah, my name has been Salve. And leave in the comments, do you want to see more episodes like this? And as I said, bye bye and take care. Peace.